To those who have been shunned and their voices silenced by that of the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses simply for having your own viewpoint and knowing that this organization does in fact not have God's backing or the backing of his son Jesus Christ. This video is solely for you, and as being one of you and recently added to that of the XJW family, I just want you to always remember the words of Jesus Christ, because shunning was never something that he supported. And I feel like this scripture was directly put in place simply for us, that we understand that we are happy, no matter what they do to us, to bring us down, to make a mockery of us, to cast us out and put us out into the streets and just treat us like we're just some evil apostates out for just nothing but badness, and Satan has pretty much taken us over. Just realize that this scripture is directly addressing what shunning is. And you must know that you are still loved. You still have hope. You're not just going to die in Armageddon, and you're not going to just be, a useless person walking around. I understand that the phase will be hard at first, losing everything that you've known, and that you lost your family, your friends, possibly your mates, your kids, your kids, your loved ones. I mean, everything that you ever known, they just turned their backs on you in an instant, all because you don't support the organization of worshiping men. That's not influence of God. Remember Jesus' words in Luke chapter 6, and we'll start at verse 22. Actually, no, let's take it even higher. Let's start at verse 21 of chapter 6, and let's read what Jesus said. And this is speaking to us that have been shunned. Happy are you who hunger now, spiritually speaking, or even in a physical sense, because you will be filled, which they haven't filled us, or spiritual nourishment, because they're proven valid with the lies. Happy are you who weep now, because you will laugh. Happy are you whenever men hate you, and whenever they may exclude you and reproach you and cast out your name as wicked for the sake of the Son of Man. They did the same thing to Jesus, for stepping contrary toward what the religions taught according to the doctrines of man. And with us imitating Jesus, why would we expect to not be treated the exact same way? Let's read on. In verse 23, rejoice in that day and leap, for look, your reward is great in heaven, for those are the same things their forefathers used to do to the prophets. But woe to you rich persons, because you are having your consolation in full. Governing body. Woe to you who are filled up now, because you will go hungry. Those who are indoctrinated and feel like they have everything through the governing body. Woe, you who are laughing now, because you will mourn and weep. Those who make mockery of us and laugh at us and give us sarcasm speech for speaking the truth against our organization, and continue to spread their hatred to us as if we are bad people for simply trying to bring it to justice what's happening to us, giving our accounts, right? Woe whenever all men speak well of you for things like these, like obedience to the organization, right? Which they'll speak well of you when you are obeying, right? For things like these are what their forefathers did to the false prophets. Come on now, that's deep. Self-explanatory, right? But I say to you who are listening, continue to love your enemies, to do good to those hating you. And that's why we continue to promote love and make these videos, so that we can lead our loved ones that are still within this indoctrination of the Jehovah's Witnesses organization, so that they can come out. We don't hate you. We love you, and we want you to wake up and bring this organization to justice so that you can be free. Our fight is not against you. It is against the organization that has corrupted your mind to make you into another pawn in their game. To bless those cursing you, to pray for those who are insulting you. Trust me, we are definitely praying for those that are insulting us every day by labeling us apostates and calling us bad. To him that strikes you on the one cheek, after the other also, and from him that takes away, offer the other one also. So if they strike you upon one cheek, offer the other. It's pretty much just maintaining a peaceful vibe and expressing humility to those who continue to try to do badness to us, to not become like them, to not promote the same things that they are doing to us, right? After the other also, from him that takes away your outer garment, do not withhold even the undergarment, right? Give to everyone asking you, and from the one taking your things away, do not ask them back. We must express the spirit of humility, right? Also, just as you want men to do to you, do the same way to them. And we want justice, just like we would want justice if it was the other way around. We just want justice, love, This is the same thing that can be applied to any people, And if you love those loving you, of what credit is it to you? For even the sinners love those loving them. And if you do good to those doing good to you? Really, of what credit to you? Even the sinners do the same. And this one is pretty self-explanatory as well. Witnesses only tend to love those who love them, love those who are within the organization and are obedient to the governing body, the leaders of the organization. So they only love those who are their own. They only send, to contribute to those and to do relief work for those who are of their own. That is like their foremost priority before they will ever reach out to the poor on the side of the road. I even had some tell me to stop giving my money to people on the side of the road because you don't know what they're using it for, which I can care less as long as I'm doing the right thing and getting my blessing and my heart was right. That's what I really care about. But they would rather you give it to the organization and donate it to the contribution box to only go toward your own. So they're pretty much, this is what Jesus is teaching us, extend your love to all people. Don't just give it to your own. Don't just give it to your own people, especially your own religious organization. We must perform good to all people, man. And Jehovah's Witnesses don't do this. They don't do nothing that this entire book is talking about. They don't promote love. Like the moment that they shun you, they give you so much hatred and then call it love. It's so reverse, right? Promoting what is bad is good, what is good is bad. They only love, like I say, they only love their own. As long as you're a witness and you're obeying and you listen to the governing body, they love you, they talking to you, they coming over, they visiting you, you're getting invited places, you're viewed as spiritual, you get so much privileges and favor. But the moment you start questioning those men and start seeing that they're not inspired of God and teaching what Jesus Christ taught, then it's like, oh no, all of the hatred comes along and they don't like you no more. They don't call you, they shun you, and they don't mess with you to the day that they die, because that's how much they will take that grudge to seriousness. They will have a grudge against you to the day that they die because these men told them to do so. The doctrines. So they prove invalid to the word of Jesus Christ and to God himself as well, because look how they do the complete opposite. Like, how is this whole scripture not so similar to what the shunning practice entails, right? How they label you and persecute you and speak bad about your name the moment that you leave. How they pretty much shun you and divide you and show you no love because you are not one of their own anymore. You are no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses, is what they say when they shun you. Like, this scripture is deep, man. They're very judgmental, very self-righteous, and even Jesus talks about why we shouldn't be like that, right? So let's continue to go even deeper, to the contrary. Hold up. Let's go to verse 34 of Luke 6. Also, if you lend without interest to those from whom you hope to receive, of what credit is it to you? And my Bible teacher always wanted something back if he landed. When I lend, I wasn't trying to hunt you down and this and that. I would like people to pay me back, but I'm not going to make that my life's goal to just hunt you down and persecute you till I get my money back. I'm not the IRS, but he do these things. He even make people sign sheets. I gave this, you give it back to me. They say pay things back to Caesar and God's to God's, right? And they don't get the point that Jesus was talking about and that humility type of attitude. Even sinners lend without interest to sinners that may get back as much. So to the contrary, continue to love your enemies and to do good and to lend without interest, not hoping for anything back, and your reward will be great and you will be sons of the Most High, because he is kind toward the unthankful and wicked. Witnesses or not, when they shun you, kindness dies. God can even stay kind to sinners and wicked people, but witnesses can't be kind to those who they shun. They just cut you off and treat you as dead. How is that God-like and how is that Christ-like? Continue becoming merciful just as your Father is merciful. God deals with us even though we're sinners and we're imperfect. He's even nice to wicked people to try to give them a chance to come out of their wicked ways while they doing wicked things. But Jehovah's Witnesses, when you stand aside from what they teach, and they perceive you as wicked, they don't express what God does to wicked people and how Jesus talked about how he came to call sinners. He didn't came to call righteous people. He came for sinners. So he's continued to seek them out, and people just didn't seem to get that. God and Jesus are after sinners. They are after people that's doing bad things, because these are the ones that they are hoping to save. This because God don't delight in the destruction of any man. Witnesses delight in your destruction. They just shun you, cut you off, and be like, you're dead to us. We'll move on. And they'll be happy to straight do it. Your family will cut you off, and they will not love you anymore, man, until the day you die. And everything I read about in Jesus' words in this entire chapter, it just destroys everything that Jehovah's Witnesses stand for so badly and so directly. Like, what am I really tweaking here? It's so direct. Why you only love those that love you? What extraordinary thing is that? The nations do the same thing. Why are you casting people out and speaking badly on their name, which witnesses doing call you apostates and label you so badly when they shun you? And then it talks about 37, stop judging, and by you will by no means be judged, and stop condemning, you will by no means be condemned. Keep on releasing and you will be released. We are released, and we're not judgmental like they are, man. Spread love. And that's what they're talking about.